$8,000, guys. Now that is like unheard of. I had never made so much money back in my tax returns. So he taught me, he educated me how taxes work and how you can claim different things which are legitimate. Do it in the right way. Hey guys, my name is Jagdai, coming at you from Detroit, Michigan, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to pay your taxes in US. Now, number one question I want to ask you is, do you have to pay taxes? And the answer for that is, if you made money in US, you have to pay taxes. There are three things you can't run away from. One is taxes, second is death, and third is taxes again. Because even when you die, you will still be paying taxes if you made money. So, saying that, let's jump into the topic. But before we get started, I would really appreciate if you can give me a thumbs up to the video. It allows me to reach out to more people just like you. How do you pay taxes in US? So imagine if you are an international student or you are an H1B. There are different ways you pay taxes. There are different amount of taxes you pay. So first of all, let's say you are an F1 visa student. You don't have to pay taxes such as Social Security and Medicare. So let's say you're working on campus or you're working an internship, then you don't have to pay these kind of taxes. If your paycheck, look at your paycheck and see if these taxes are being deducted. So if these are deducted, you can talk to your school and ask them to remove them as a part of your deduction. Tell them that, hey, I'm an international student, I am not supposed to pay taxes. You can actually go to the IRS website and find out that you are not allowed, like you're not supposed to pay it. Basically, there is provision for that. Now, if you are on H1B, you should be paying those taxes. So as soon as you jump onto H1B, you start paying these 10% taxes. So let's take a step back and talk about how to file taxes. Okay, now there are three ways to file taxes in my opinion. Number one is you can just go online and look up a website like TurboTax and you can file your taxes for free. Number two, you can file your taxes is going to a place like HR Block. HR Block is basically an office. Every city, most of the cities actually have that, and you can go there. There are usually CPAs just sitting all day long, 8 to 5, and they just do your taxes. And so what you can do is take all the documents for your tax, go see this person, and they'll charge you $50, $80, $100, whatever that charge is at their current office. They'll charge you that amount and you can file your taxes with them. Third way of filing taxes is hiring a professional CPA. So there are hundreds of CPAs in every city. If you just Google CPA in Detroit area, you will find hundreds and hundreds of CPAs. So similarly, whichever city you are in, just Google CPAs and you can see their ratings, go to their website, see what people say about them, see how many stars they have, how they have performed, how they have done, and then you can give them a call. Give them a call and tell them that you are an international student, or tell them you are on H1B visa, or whatever your status is. Tell them that before you go and see them. Tell them, hey, do you know how to do these kind of taxes? Have you done this before? Because this is very important for my status. So they will let you know. Usually most of them know how to do it. If they don't know how to do it, they'll let you know. Your income this year has, like, let's say 2022. Take an example of year 2022. So if your income was less than $10,000, I would suggest just go online and file it for free, because most probably you haven't made any other money if you don't have any other sources of income. Unless you have stocks and stuff like that, you made significant amount of money in that, then I would suggest going to a proper CPA or HR Block. So if you made less than $10,000, you don't have any other sources of income, just go and file that. If it was complicated where your workplace actually did cut your Social Security and Medicare taxes, then go to HR Block. Okay, if not, then don't worry about it. Now, who should go to HR Block? If you are just started, if you just started your full-time job, this was your first year or second year, and you have no other sources of income outside of your job, so you don't have any real estate, you don't have any maybe big loans which you are paying like high interest on, or you don't have anything else, then just go to an HR Block and get it done. Make sure you find a good HR Block person. You go and sit down with them, talk to them, tell them your situation, and they can help you. Now, who should go to a proper CPA? In my opinion, if you're making over $50,000, $60,000 a year and you or even like if you're making $100,000, you should definitely go to a CPA. If you're making 100 grand, you're filing on TurboTax, that's not a good idea, because you want to make sure that you get the most deductions, and you want to make sure you get all the money back what you're supposed to get. Okay, so the way I did, for example, is for last over 3 years I've been going to a proper CPA. 2019, 2020, I went to a CPA. I had an okay experience with him. I'll give you a little bit details in the end about what happened and how much money I made back by every single year. But in 2022, which is last year, so this year, I filed my taxes for 2021, and I went to one of the top CPAs in my area, and he charged me $250 to do my taxes. Now that's very, very expensive compared to $0 you're paying online. Other like normal CPAs will charge you maybe $50, $100. HR Block maybe $100, $150. But this CPA charged me $250. But the amount of deductions and the way he explained me about what tax law is, how you do things, and what are certain things you can get back, that was phenomenal, folks, and that really, really helped me understand the taxes. So I suggest, if you're making over, let's say, $60,000, go to a proper CPA. If you have multiple income sources like stocks, real estate, or you have stocks from your company or something like that, and you're selling them and making money out of them, definitely go to a proper CPA. Okay, now what kind of documents you need to file taxes? Now listen very, very carefully. You will get something called W-2 from your employer. It usually comes by January 15th. You might have a portal where you can download it, or it will come to you in the mail. If you haven't received it by Jan 15, email your HR, email somebody in your office who is like assistant or like office assistant, and connect with them, and they'll basically make sure you get it. Second thing you want to make sure is, now if you are investing online like Robinhood or Webull or something like that, then make sure you get your tax forms from there. So these will not be mailed to you. They will be uploaded, but usually they do it later. By February 1st they'll have it there, so you'll have to wait till February to file your taxes. You can't file it just in Jan 15th and wait for this later. No, you have to wait to get this form back. Okay, so let's say by 1st Feb, usually they'll have all these forms online, and you can just download them and take it with you when you go to your CPA. Other forms you can get, let's say on Amazon you bought something and you sold it back, or you sold something on eBay. Now you're not doing this as a business, you just sold something. Maybe you bought an iPhone, you sold it back and you made a profit, for example, on that. Or you sold a book and you made profit on that. You had extra books, or like you bought a book, you read it and you sold it back. That also you will get a 1099 for that. For example, if some of your friends transferred money on Cash App or Zelle or something like that, you will start getting these things. You will start getting these 1099s, because 1099 is basically online income. So you want to make sure you take those to your CPA. Don't forget about them, because they might create a problem for you in future. Okay, so wait till you collect all these documents. Make sure you are like looking into every way you made money, and make sure you collect those documents and take them to your CPA and give it to your CPA. Your CPA will look at those, and according to that they will get you your money back. Another thing, I'll give you a secret tip, and this is where a lot of people don't know how to make money, is let's say you work in a city. Like for example, I work in city of Detroit, and we are allowed to work from home, let's say 1 or 2, 3 days a week. So let's say city of Detroit is charging me, let's say 2% a month, but that tax you're only supposed to pay if you're in the office. So let's say I'm only in the office 2 days a week and 3 days I'm working from home, then I shouldn't be charged tax for those 3 days. So in a year, let's say you're in the office, like let's say 250 days you work, and you're only in the office for 100 days, you shouldn't be paying tax for those 150 days. So you will get those 150 days worth of tax back from city of Detroit. Most people don't know how to file that, and you need to talk and communicate this with your CPA so that you can get that money back. So if you're working in a downtown, usually they'll have additional taxes for you, which you can claim back if you're working from home. Okay, right there, I saved you $500 to $800 if you are like they're charging you 2%. So my last experience I want to share with you. Okay, what a proper CPA does for you guys. Understand one thing: your tax filing is very very important. When you're filing for green card, when you're filing for different documentation, especially in US, they are going to look at your files, you know. So make sure this is properly accounted for. Make sure your tax returns are filed properly. Here I'll show you. I literally have last 3 years of tax returns right here. I always carry 3 years of tax returns because usually they'll not go up to 4 or 5 years back. They'll usually go up to 3. So if you notice, this is 2021, 2020, 2019, and I'm going to share you how much money I made from tax returns in last 3 years. Now 2019, I had this was a CPA. This was the first time I went to a proper CPA, went and sat down with him with an appointment, and we went through taxes. And here's what happened. So he looked at my profile, he looked at what I paid, what I made, and he was able to get me about $550 in tax returns. Now this year in 2019, I had to take a one or 1.5 month break from work, and that's why I didn't pay a lot of taxes. So I think that was one of the reasons that I got less tax back. But I feel that he could have done better, because I started my school that year and I paid $5,000 towards my university. So he should have been able to get me a little bit more money, in my opinion. But it was a first time experience with him, so I think he just took a shortcut and did whatever he could. The second year I went to him, he did a little bit better. He was able to explain me what things we were. I did my research as well, and I went to him and we talked about different things. Like at that point of time, I had started investing with Robinhood, and so he was able to basically simply get a little bit more money back for me, because I discussed properly. He invested his time on talking about different things. So this year I made back basically $2,700 back. So this was a good year. He went through different things, he looked at details properly. Unfortunately, I can't share you all the details here, but understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so sit down with your CPA, tell your scenario to them, tell your situation to them, and they'll be able to help you. Now last year what happened, I did so even after that experience, I was not feeling at home with him, so I changed my CPA. I went to a better CPA, and a friend of mine recommended me to him. And this CPA charged $250 for an appointment. And a 1 hour appointment to do your taxes is $250. Now that's a premium cost, guys. Most CPAs will usually charge about 100, 150. 250 is premium. So I went to him, I sat down, I told him different things I'm doing. I told him different things I'm investing into. I took a loss last year of some $1,000 on my stocks, because market was going really down last year towards the end. So I told him different things that happened, and then he looked at my portfolio, he looked at my income from different sources, and then he filed my taxes for me. So last year, I'll tell you, he went through my taxes and he was able to get me in federal income tax about $6,000 back. In my state income tax, I made about $1,000, and in my city taxes, I made about $800. So in total, I made close to $8,000, guys. Now that is unheard of. I had never made so much money back in my tax returns. So he taught me, he educated me how taxes work, and how you can claim different things which are legitimate. Do it in the right way. Don't just go and file anything. Because I did my master's, I was paying tens of thousands of dollars of tuition fees towards my university, and some of them can be claimed back on your taxes. So that's something you need to learn. Even if you're on H1B, you should be able to claim that back. So that is the difference. So if you really notice, 2019, 2020, I only paid $150 towards a normal CPA. I have paid a premium here, $100 more, but he was able to get me so much more. Now, just because you pay more doesn't mean you're going to get more money back. It's just that you're going to work with educated people. You're going to work with highly qualified individuals, and that's the reason you're paying that price. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what I had to tell you guys. Just in my opinion, if you're making over $50,000, go hire a proper CPA, because when you're going to file for H1B, when you're going to file for green card and certain types of documents, you want to make sure that you have proper tax returns. As a matter of fact, I plan to carry like these tax returns for next 10 years, because I want to make sure that I don't want any problems in future, and I want to do it the right way right now. So I think that's all I can suggest you right now. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section. But otherwise, I had a great time talking to you. See you in the next video. Bye. Peace.